Okay, I think we're recording now.
Please request record permission from the meeting host. I can't because I need permission from you.
Oh,
So you're doing it. I
okay.
think we're recording. We're live, right?
Yep, I think we're live.
Okay. Well, hello, lemon heads. What do you call
Uh,
your guy?
Well, after the last video, I had James Osterhaus. He suggested the deal dogs because apparently people refer to
I was
themselves
thinking like Israelites, Delamanites. You know?
biblical.
Yeah, like Delamanites. Somehow that kind of just rolls off the tongue. But we don't want to waste time talking about nonsense, seeing how we have math to do. What do you think, Mr. Dealman?
I think that's probably a good idea. Or else this video will be much longer than it needs to be.
Right. And I haven't eaten supper yet, so I'm getting hungry.
Why haven't you eaten yet?
A long story, which you know about, which I don't want. I just had a meltdown. I was doing some painting and a gallon of paint tipped over. So I had a lot of cleanup to do.
Not very fun.
No.
Well, we'll jump from one unfun thing to the next unfun thing to think about student loans. So I believe one of your kids asked about problems 8 and 9.
Yeah, I had a question about that. Could you make a video or something? And I said, I'll talk to Mr. Dealman. And guess what? Here we are.
Here we are, Thursday night. So we thought it'd be a good idea to come up with our own situation that's very similar to what the textbook provides, but it's got a personal twist to it. So the scenario that we're going to use to show you guys how to work the spreadsheets and how to kind of navigate a lot of this problem solving that you're required to do is came up with a student loan situation. So you should be able to see my screen right here.
I can.
You can, Mr. Lemon?
Yep.
Good. Everybody else should hopefully be able to. But anyway, so student loans, that's something that many of you won't have to worry about, at least for the next year. But let's pretend that Mr. Dealman has a student loan of $10,200 and I've received my $1,200 stimulus check and I just made one payment towards my loan of that amount before I even was required to start paying. So now I'm borrowing $9,000 in total with a 4% APR. That's an annual percentage rate. But compounded monthly. So they're making me pay it monthly. And I've got 5 years to pay it back. But I'm not sure what the payment will be. And so I decided to talk to an old fart like Mr. Lemon, who's already paid off his student loans.
Thanks, Mr. Dealman.
So I went to you, and I'm seeking your wisdom. If you could give me some idea, because I'm not making payments yet, but I want to budget for it. So I'd like an idea of how much that would be.
All right. Well, this isn't real scientific, but if you're borrowing $9,000 of course, at 5 years, there's 12 months in a year. Last time I checked, 5 times 12 was 60. I don't know. Can you see me pointing at 60 there, Mr. Dillon? Probably not.
I can't, but
No.
I'll highlight it.
All right. But yeah, 60 payments. So if we don't account for the interest, which we wish was true, interest-free loan, but that's pie in the sky. There's just not such a thing unless grandpa and grandma are really good to you. Interest-free loan, we would divide 9,000 by 60 and come up with $150. But something tells me, Mr. Dealman, that's not going to quite be enough because we haven't figured any interest yet. But it'd be interesting to see if we would pay it off at 150, how much money we'd still have to pay at the end of 60 months on our last payment. So I think we should probably set up a spreadsheet, Google Doc, not a Google Doc, a Google Sheet. And I think we have one of those ready to go. Perfect. Yep. So 9, 1, 2, 3. Oops. I don't know if you want to type. You type better than I do.
You tell me what to do.
I'll type in 9,000 because I'll do the easy. You already did it. Doggone it, let me try something. The part I hate about spreadsheets is I always forget to start them with equals. And I just hit it so hard it didn't even do it. I don't think, Mr. Dealman.
No, you got to swipe to the, what is it again?
I did, but let me try equals. I'm there. So then I would want to take, I'm going to just write it out. I'm not even going to do the math. I'm going to say take A1, right?
Mm-hmm.
A1. I need to multiply it. Another quirky thing about spreadsheets, you have to shift 8 to get that times sign in there.
Oh yeah, the little what do you
I
call
always
it?
forget that too. And I put a, just a parenthesis, and I know that means times if there's nothing written, but spreadsheets are dumber than a box of rocks. They don't know that. So you have to put times. Parenthesis, and I'm going to say 1 plus, it was 4% APR, correct?
Correct.
So 0.04, and I'm going to divide that by 12
Yep.
because we're making monthly payments. If 0.04 is the annual payment or annual interest,
Mm-hmm.
I got to divide that by 12.
Yep.
And I'm going to end parenthesis, and I'm going to subtract 150 and hit return.
Mm-hmm.
And so after 1 month, my balance, after one payment, my balance is $8,880.
Cool.
So now I had another question this morning. I think you had the same one in your Google Doc. How do you make that go down?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this little box over here in the corner, this little square,
Yep. I'm
we're
pointing
going
at
to
it on my
pull.
end.
Are you pulling it or am I pulling it?
No, you can pull it. I'm just pointing so that they
Okay,
can see
yeah,
what I'm
you
talking
pull.
about.
I need to go to, I think, 61 months, actually, because I start at 1.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yep.
My $9,000 was in cell 1 because there wasn't a cell 0.
Right.
So I'm going to go to 61 months, excuse me, which is really 60 months. I hope
Correct.
that's not too confusing.
Yep.
So the 150, the simple math of taking the 9,000 divided by 60 months, $150 payment leaves us $1,000+ short.
That's not good.
How does that make you feel?
That makes me feel like I've got $1,000 more to pay that I thought I had already paid off.
That's just not fair, is it?
No, but life's not fair. So we
I
probably
think it could start. Here's my fatherly advice. You know, I'm an old fart or whatever you called me. Start saving money when you're in kindergarten. All right. That's good advice. Save money for college and kindergarten. Okay, so here's the pain. I wonder what the price. I wonder what payment we'd really actually have to make.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the only thing I know what to do. Guess and guess again.
Mm-hmm.
150 wasn't enough. So you can see that I'm going to try 160.
Okay.
I'm going to hit return. So I change my formula. I still have my $9,000 starting at plus 1.1 plus 0.04
Mm-hmm.
divided by 12. Hit, and then I'm going to have to pull down again.
Mm-hmm.
Go all the way back to 60. Whoa, Nelly. What did I just do too fast? Just take your time.
And we'll see them all magically change.
They
There we
all
go.
magically
Yep.
changed. So
Now,
160 is getting me closer to $381.
so it's probably not going to be 170 though, because if we think about it, what was our balance? 1,000, and now it's 380. So we probably don't want to go quite to 170.
We
But
could probably start going up by increments of $5 for fun. Or is that going to be too much too, you think? What do you
well,
think? What do you think, young punk?
I feel like that's not very efficient. I feel like that's going to take forever.
Well, I'm pretty fast. Watch this. Subtract 0, put 5, hit return, grab onto that sucker, pull that little doodah down, let it roll. Come on, baby. Nice thing is you know when to stop because the last number is already there.
Did you do it? Oh,
Down to 50.
that is pretty close.
That was, but like you said, it is a pain to do it that way. But gang, this is kind of extra for experts, what we're about to show you. And it's really not that hard. Mr. Dielman and I had a little preliminary thoughts on this together before we are actually live. And you learned this actually in Core 1. Here's probably not a bad way to do this. I'm going to type in the word payment. And then I'm going to put the payment in that box right underneath it. So that would be cell C2. Correct, Mr. Dielman?
Yep.
And if I go over to A2, and instead of subtracting the amount 165, I'm going to put $C2 and hit return. Now, we had 100 and what do we have in there? 165.
Yeah.
I mean, that was our last payment.
Yep.
The beauty of setting this up is I don't have to do the pull down nonsense anymore. I can type in 165.50 cents.
Yep.
Hit return, scroll down. I'm down to $49.
Mm-hmm.
Much more efficient than having to change the number every time and then pull down every time. And the trick to that was is typing the formula referencing the same cell. So my payment is a cell now.
Yep.
It's not a number, it's a cell. And that dollar sign in front of the name of the cell, C2, column and then row, the dollar sign is like a lock. It will pick the number that I type in there. So
does it
I
matter
don't know
where
how
you?
much we want to play around with this yet, but
Yeah.
165.50 ain't enough. 166? I'm probably not being very aggressive. 48. How about 168 feels great.
Oh wow.
Was that only 46? What
Yeah.
was it a minute ago? Didn't we say 170 was going to be too much? That's what you told me. 170 would be way too much.
Yeah, well, we're multiplying. It's just exponential, so this is probably a lot.
Dude, 170 ain't enough.
Please don't tell me it's going to be 200.
Dog bite it.
Oh wow.
200 gets me down to $7.
I can't. I don't have enough room in my budget for this.
Uh-oh.
I
So
don't
now
even.
what are you going to do?
I don't even think my actual student loan payment in real life is that much.
Oh, this is real life. I thought this was real life. What you'll have to do, and of course, I think you already probably signed a contract. Every year I go to arbitration, and I'm the highest paid employee at Holland Christian. I win my arbitration every year, and I make 6.4 million a year. And I'm going to guess you probably don't quite make that much being rookie status.
No,
No.
unfortunately.
Well, I wish again. You got any questions on your end?
No, other than I think once you get really, really, really close, I mean, you can get as picky as you want, but
Obviously, you can't go more than 2 decimal places because we're talking
exactly.
money, and you can only go up to pennies.
So
hopefully this will help with problem 8 and 9. I think the student who was asking the question this morning said, if I can get 8, I think I can do 9.
yeah,
I hope that this will help. Number 8 was borrowing a car loan amount. I don't remember how much it was. I don't remember what the percentage was, but if it was an annual rate, you do have to remember to divide by 12 to get the monthly rate, and etc.
And I think number 9 too asked about. I think it starts by asking, how much interest did you pay in total after your loan? So if you think about it, if we were to calculate, so what if we were to get really, really close? Let's say we plugged in like 200.
Go ahead. 200 what? 200 is pretty close. $7, dude. If you want to type in a couple cents, like what? 220, 25?
205. Got me to 1.
Oh, that's going to be way too much.
No, 205's at 1. 1's left.
Oh.
So that's pretty close. So let's just call it that. So now, since
we've got close enough for government work.
Right. So 205. So if we're making $205 60 times, right? Because we're 60 monthly payments.
Yeah.
That I forgot the equals.
That's what equals I bet.
So I'm paying $12,300 over the life of my loan, but my loan's only $9,000. So how much did I really pay?
3,300.
12,300 minus 9,000. I really paid $3,300 in interest. That's a lot. That's a lot.
Oh, man.
That's why it's smart, just as a life lesson, to pay off your loans, make bigger payments if you can. Anyways, that's how you calculate what the interest was. You just subtract your total amount you paid after you find your monthly payment accurately, subtract what your loan was. The difference is your interest that you paid.
And then be depressed. But now, guys, on the flip side, time is the enemy when we're borrowing, but time is your friend if we're investing. But that's a different lesson, and I think we probably should be signing off now.
We should sign off before we get into that rabbit hole.
All right.
Anyways, all right.
Mr. Dillman, it's always a riot. It's always a blast to see you. I think we did good work.
I agree so.
In fact, I thought we were funny. I don't know.
If anything, we amused ourselves. But
the goal was to try to learn them kids some math, and I hope that we did, guys. Thanks.
See you guys.